Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Kissy Sell Out here, just in my Shoreditch studio. This is where all the magic happens. I've got a new track that I'm going to go through with you today. I've got the session up here in Ableton. It's called Nasty. It's a nice bassline tune, and we'll go through it, show you how some of the bits are made, and make some beautiful music together.
Nasty.
Well, I'm excited to talk to you today about a new track I've made for my label Stepperman. I've done it under my name KSO when I make more bassliney, slightly darker underground tunes. Yeah, track's called Nasty, and it's kind of like it's a bassline tune, starts half time, kind of Aphrodite, funky drum and bass style at the start. So should we have a quick listen to it? Yeah? All right, okay, fine. So you've got some nice pianos at the start here. Actually ripped off this idea slightly from one of my favourite Aphrodite tunes called Hoochie. Don't tell anyone. So when I get when I like to put like a piano layers and stuff like that on it, I always think it's a bit quicker when you're making your tune just to do it in a separate session, get this all done and then bounce this down, get the mastering of that layer right, and then import it afterwards. So this is how I originally started with it. So you start with your basic piano here, in a kind of higher octave like that. Then I did it, I think, in a lower octave here. There you go. And I said them two together. And then I've got another layer down here as well. It sounds like this. Very quiet, that one. Let's listen to this one as well. There we go. And then let's listen to it all together. I've got a philharmonic layer here as well, which might all sound similar actually, but if you listen to them all back to back, you'll notice they've all got slightly different tones and timbre to them. It's quite nice, I quite like those bits there. So as you can see here as well, I've got a lot of mastering on each layer for each thing, which means that my computer is constantly in danger of crashing the whole time. That's why I've frozen the layers here. And I've got a bit of reverb on here. I've got one of these kind of just IK Multimedia kind of reverbs here. One of my favourite piano synths actually is it's an FL Studio Fruity Loops one called Morphine, but it's got a great grand piano on it. And if I show you that here, it's a great grand piano sound. I think it's actually one of my favourite ones really. Put a little bit of drive in there. And then when I get this philharmonic one, which sounds much like a more kind of old-fashioned piano. So here I've got philharmonic. Now this is one of my favourite synths to use this, and I've actually got several things here. So let's have a listen. I've actually got a bit of a harp going. There you go. It's quite nice. And then put the piano there. And I've got multiple instances of morphine here actually, and there's another philharmonic thing here as well. So let's just take a look at that. And that's just more harps. Got a bit of echo here now. So I've basically saved it so that I can now add all the effects and stuff afterwards. And then we should now, if we listen to this in the final track, then it will start to make a bit more sense. So let's go to this one here. There you go. So now we've got back into my main session now, and as you can hear from this layer here, I have got the piano now imported in, and it's all flattened. There we go, and it's like that. Now I've used a few sends on this as well, which we can solo here. It'll be very quiet though. That's what we've got here. So what I've done, I've used a stereo doubler here to put some bit of distance in between the left and right speakers. And I think if I go on this one here, I think I've got a bit of distortion and stuff. Oh yeah, that's very quiet there, indeed. And I've also, I think, where is it here? It must be around here somewhere. So as you can see here on this channel here, I've actually just got this this kind of vinyl distortion generator thing. sounds quite nice. You can kind of change some of the settings in this and stuff. But the good thing is to make it a bit more realistic. I've automated the volume, so it kind of goes in and out of the actual piano, so you can kind of, you know, barely hear it, but it just adds that bit of vibe to the track and creates a bit more atmosphere when it's going. So if I just go back to the original piano here, here we go. It's got a bit of a hat there. Got some more vinyl samples here as well. Just nice to get that right at the start of the track. Get a bit of vibe in there. Then we've got some beats.
Nasty.
Now for these beats here, I've just got, I wanted to get a good vibe on this kind of hip hop thing because, you know, listen, it's, you know, I'm far from a hip hop producer or anything like that, but I do know a thing or two about beats. So if we just listen to the beats here. Yeah, cool. I've got a nice snare here as well. Put a few extra bits on, like that. A few extra bits of percussion on some of the snares. Yeah, okay, I like that kind of stuff. And then I've just put that through a group thing and put some extra reverb on it again as well. So we can kind of, there we go. Okay. For a few other effects, I've just got some absolute, you know, sort of things when, when I'm making all my Kissy tracks, I never leave home without a lot of atmospheric kind of samples thing, and there's nothing I love more than a kind of reversed explosion noise like that, coupled with a bit of an thunder sound effect and some echoes of thunder as well here, just for extra atmosphere. Just adds a lot more general vibe. See, having that over the top of the beats and stuff. And that's how you make a track sound vibey and cool. I've even got some sound effects of some rain here as well. Let's have a listen to that. Oh, lovely. So there's nice little texture things I always think is a good thing to have in your tracks. Right, now where's the bass? If I just solo some of the bass noises that are going on over the beats, here we go. Oh, it's absolutely really fat, that. Let me put this, show the graphic equalizer that looks like. And we've got a lot of bass cutting right through here, but you'll notice I've got a lot of sub bass at the bottom. Now, if I just show you how a clever way of doing that, what I do is if I just, easiest way, so if I undo basically what I've done, so if I do, I've got this thing here with my preset called sub bass remover. So if I just listen to that. There you go, so there's no sub bass there anymore. Now a clever little thing that I used to like to use on bass lines all the time. So yeah, there's no sub bass here, but to get that real proper rumble, there's a nice VST plugin I like, which Low 99 told me about. And basically what it does is it just adds the most ridiculous amount of sub bass. In fact, too much, some people would say. So if I just move this over, all of a sudden, hang on, oops, put the meter in afterwards. Yeah, here we go. There you go, put a bit of drive in it. And see, now the sub bass has gone absolutely off the chart. But obviously, I mean, that's too much. But if I put it a bit down to kind of here level kind of thing, then it just gives that nice rumble on the beat. And you'll notice as well, I would assume that if I just go to here and solo the kicks, solo this hip hop beat, yeah, you can see there's very little sub bass actually going through the kicks here as well. So that means that just when you put the bass line over it, just means it keeps rumbling away and sounds the best it can really, and all leveled up. Now let's get to the double time part of the track. So let me solo some of these. Like speedier beats and stuff, and try and remember where everything is. Let's have a listen to this. Oh, we've got a bit of an effect there as well. Where's that clap? Let's get this clap in here. Now I've got so many layers of stuff going on here, it's quite easy to forget how it's all kind of put together. But I'm really into this, you know, I've been playing a kind of lot of bassline sounds and stuff and in my music recently, and I really love this kind of thing. I like this kind of rhythm, which sounds perfect when you, yeah, like that. Now there's a bit of sneaky, I've got a bit of Reese bass here, which I've already put the side chaining on. So, you know, like just to give this a bit more, so like just, I think that's just a nicer way, got a nice bit of Reese bass there. Now the way I did that was, if I do it, I can actually do it right now, and just recreate it. So let's just put this here. Yeah, excellent, cool. Right, now if I just load up a bit of side chaining, let's just quickly do that now. Here we go, up here, there you go. I've always got a side chain layer right at the top of my session file all the time, which is just that it's always just muted at the top here, and it looks a bit like that. So I've always got that going for me down there. Let's get back down to here. Now if I go, let's just get this side chain working. Oops, get working well. Yeah, here we go. Okay, right. Let's get that. Put that near down. Okay, wicked. And then only turn it on the second bit of it. Then what that means is if I put a echo here, so we've got a filter delay here, which should, so just to give you an idea what that sounds like. Let's give that a go. Yeah, okay, that's nice. Now we only want that to come on the last bit here, so it's good to just keep automating when these plugins come on. And you know, this is one of the things you can see me doing over and over again here, is I keep kind of flattening and rebouncing things the whole time. And that's because when you've got a very complex track, you know, it's hard to keep, you know, keep your CPU running the whole time, and it just makes things a bit simpler. So I've just recreated what I did there. So if we just listen to that again, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Okay, right, excellent. Right, so we're going to get into the kind of breakdown section here, and we've got our lowered bass and stuff all happening. Let's listen to the breakdown quickly. Yeah. Now, something I like to do when I'm doing this kind of breakdown stuff is, you know, let's make a kind of siren-y kind of, they're called a kind of uplifter effect, right? And what I mean by that is that I'm pretty sure that if we click on something like this, here we go, and I'll turn the volume up. Yeah, there we go. So we've got something it's uplifting now. That's a really easy way to do that, which is if I get some of my strings here, and let's just solo this, listen to this now. I think this is quite a handy way. Yeah, there we go. Now, what we do is, right, it's what I love about Ableton. If I just put this on complex like this, turn down the octave here, like that. In fact, let's turn it down 2 octaves. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, cool. Now let's just zoom in on this. Now, if I go to the envelopes, go to transpose, let's just put it a bit the same here, and let's just raise this right up the other 2 octaves, and it should go up like this. Excellent, cool. And then to make that sound even better, let's just duplicate that layer, put them at the same time, and then let's put this one at an even lower octave, so -36. Listen to them both together. Yeah, there you go. Excellent, cool. Right, so loving all that. So we've got some of these sound effects I've already put in. So this is just the breakdown here. Oh, when it's under.
Nasty.
Cool, here we go. So we're getting to the main bassline section now. Now, as you can see, what I've done is to tempt the melody, of which the bassline melody hasn't really come into it yet. But basically what I've just done is I've taken the main melody that I came up with, which is just done using Serum. Oops, here we go, it's up here. Now, one of the things I love about Serum is this detuning thing. So if I put this down, put it onto a monophonic oscillator. Let's listen to that. Like that. But you see, with this detune thing, I can now make it polyphonic. And then increase the width. Nice. So here we go. So that sounds like this. Excellent, cool. Now what I've done is, in the breakdown, is I've just basically just taken that again and then just put loads of reverb on it, basically. So I turn the reverb off. It's quite, you know, dry. Excellent. Excellent, cool. Now, if I put this, if I play the main kind of melody of the bassline drop here, which that sounds a bit different because I fiddle with it. There you go, it's a bit more like it there. Now we're going to need some sub bass for that. So I've got a sub bass layer around here somewhere, so let's just see what this one is. Yeah, there you go. Now if I quickly unfreeze this. Now I showed a second ago, I showed using the low ender thing, but it's always good to see. I mean, this is kind of a standard serum thing, but what I've basically done is I've got another instance of it here that is just a sub bass there. And if I put my graphic equalizer at the end of this, we can see what this looks like. So you can see here, big peak from kind of 50 to 100 in the spectrum. But to get that real bass rumble again, I've used this low ender piece of software here again. So, oh, let's go back and listen to it again. Yeah, there you go. Look, see how much sub bass there is here. Oops, God. Now we want to get a bit more mid-range in the bass just to fill out the sound a bit. So I've got some quite quiet layers here, which just add a bit more. So that's a higher one there, and then this one's like, yeah, there you go. So that definitely, if I start with the bass, there you go. It's a bit more. There you go, a bit more mid-range there. So if I put all of them at the same time, put them all at the same time. Let's get these here. Yeah, here we go. Now we're covering the whole spectrum of the soundscape there. Put that on the beat. Excellent. So, another good important thing to always do with percussion and stuff is to get a bit of a, you know, a swing, bit of a groove to the percussion. Now, if I just play this now, this actually is very straightforward. It's just straight 4/4. So now the only thing that creates this good kind of essence of groove is this layer here, which I might turn up a bit. That bit there. And if I zoom in on that, oh, hang on. It's because you'll notice if I zoom right in here, make this nice and large so you can see it. Now if I see the grid here, it's actually slightly out of time. So if I put that there instead, it would sound, I mean, it's not a massive difference here, but it just sounds, when it's slightly off time, it just sounds a bit better. There you go. Now, a good way to do that is just to, you know, just fiddle around and just kind of make, you know, move these things around. You press Alt enable to kind of move things around so they're slightly off the grid. See, all of a sudden you get a different, you know, I quite like that. So as we get into the third kind of 8-bar section of the bass, we've got, see if it changes up. Now, if I just quickly go through that, I've just used a one-shot wave sample for that. So if I just play you that without any processing, listen to it sounds like this. Sounds quite boring and stuff, but you know, it's always good to keep adding a load of processing. So it's a bit of reverb. Now, if we listen to this here when I'm playing it, you'll notice that there should be, yeah, see, there's a lot of bass here. Now I don't want that because I've already got sub bass in a different channel. So I'm going to cut that off down here like this. Good to, I've got several kind of different bits in my EQ there. Then I've got another one, so all a bit louder. Now let's get a bit of processing on it with a few compressors. Another compressor there as well. Much louder now. And look at that here. Yeah, no bass in there at all now. So that's going to work perfectly with some just straight up sub bass layer, which I've got here. Yeah, you better be able to hear that. If I turn it, look, it'll probably blow your speakers with it. Lovely. So this is that with this. Excellent. Get a few more layers on it. Yeah. Excellent. Cool. Now you'll notice as I play this track, I've got a lot of kind of like breaking, kind of old, kind of you know, electro scratchy kind of battle weapon samples in there, like that. Now it's the thing is that it's kind of a vibe at the moment. I like doing this kind of stuff at the moment. But if I just go here and just quickly make a new session, what I'm just trying to show you here is just how, you know, quite quickly where. It's nice to prepare some of these samples in a different session where you've not got everything so busy and it's not all going on at the same time. And one of the ways I always work, and I talk about this a lot of the time, is I have a lot of my favourite samples and stuff are all loaded in these muted layers up here, which means it's really quick and easy to just, you know, if I just have this beat here, for instance, let's have it, you know, if I have this beat playing here, oh, hang on, like that. See what I mean? Now I can get all my favourite kicks up here. Get that here, put a kick on it, there you go. Let's get a clap, snare on there as well, there you go. Now, I've done quite a lot there quite quickly, but my point is that when you've got all your samples arranged like this, it's a very easy and quick way to kind of generate something. So if you want to work on something like the effects or the, you know, the kind of, you know, the special effect noises, all your filter delays and filter sweeps and stuff like that, you can just do it all in practice here with a practice track and then import them later on. So like, you know, if I take, what else can I do here? So let's get some, I want to get some scratching things here. So I've actually got quite a few of my favorite scratchy samples here. Like that one, I've got another one here, like that. Oh. Yeah, no one there. Yeah, keep it going. And I think there's one even here as well. Oh, that was kind of, I don't know which one I should go for. That one, I think it's quite nice. So if I just put these here like this, and you got this here, oh, like that. Excellent. And if I get this this nice little break sample here, let's put this in. So what does this sound like? It sounds like this. Break. There we go. So let's put that around about here somewhere. Break. Break. Let's get a bit of reverb on that. Break. Excellent. Break. Get rid of some of the sub bass on it. Break. Break. Like that. And let's get a filter delay on it as well. There we go. Excellent. Put a multi-band compressor on it. It really accentuates the reverb when you do things like that. So I've got a nice little sample sort of thing there. And now if I just flatten that and freeze it in Ableton, there you go, straight away. And yeah, there you go, flatten it. Here we go, now I've got my own thing. Now I can control the volume completely and import this back into my main section. Like that. So I've got, when it goes back into the hip hop section and the second breakdown, we've got, you know, we've got our slow beat again, which is here. Like that, which is quite nice. Now to really emphasize the kind of loudness and give it some, you know, real room and breadth in the sound spectrum, I've actually side-chained this, this piano slightly, just on. So I've got a sidechain layer just here, like that, and it's just on, there you go. It doesn't happen very often. It's not like I'd usually use a sidechain. But what it does mean, it means there'd be a significant dip in volume as the first kick comes in. So that's what it sounds like normally. But if I turn the compressor on, there you go, it gives a bit more. And if I put that with the main hip hop beat, and then this whole track. the second breakdown, well, a second drop anyway. You know, it's you know, classic thing with bassline tunes is you have a, you know, similar bassline, but a few extra little touches. And see, what I've done with this one is that I've just added a bit of that other bass sample I had here over top of it, just over top of it. Just adds just a little bit extra. Just sounds slightly better and slightly different. Now I've added some more kind of trancier, kind of detuned synths here. Sounds really nice over sub bass that. Nice one. And because of the, because I've got an envelope on that in Serum, we go here. Ooh, up here it is, like that. See, I've got this LFO here too, and it's on the main volume here, and it's also got a filter there. So it creates that kind of sidechain effect, which means it's all in sync with everything else. Another thing worth mentioning as well is that when you're doing, when you're using LFO effects and stuff on synths like this, like that. Now, if you actually put that with the, if you you just use exactly the same synth and then had that playing over a kick, if I can just quickly find one, so it will be all the way up here. Crikey, there's a lot of layers here. Here we go. So there's a kick there. So let's put that on as well. Now it's actually slightly late that when it happens. So the way I've solved that is I've just gone to the kind of delay section here, and I'll just put that at minus 38 milliseconds, just so it hits better on time. There you go. It's one of the things I always think a lot of people when they make a bass tunes get wrong. They always forget to do this. So normally when you're doing some kind of bassline tune, I mean everything from drum and bass to kind of deep house and stuff, you know, you usually have a DJ-friendly intro or something like that. I have gone kept it 4/4 at the end of the track, but I've also kept on a nicer bit of pianos in there as well. Yeah, like, but that's 4/4 over the top of it. It also means I could show off the extra bit of piano work I did, which I showed earlier, which sounds nice, I think. Same for the ladies at the end there. I've just got a ride at the top here as well. And a reverb clap as well. And that's the end of the track. So that's one of my new tunes. It's been quite fun talking with you all and explaining how that track was made. It's called Nasty. I've done it under the name KSO from my new record label Stepperman, which I started this year. It's been really exciting getting the label up and running. So you should check it out if you haven't checked out my new label already. Well, until next time, I guess I'll hopefully see you in your nightclub sometime soon. And if you do want to email me, my email address is quite simple to remember. It's thugplayerforlife@hatethegameNotPlayer.com. Just, you know, in case, you know, you asked. You know what I mean? Sorry, I've been a bit silly at the end. Sorry.